Hello everybody and welcome back to Back Alley Case. This is Skyflight44, aka Zect44, and today I'm playing more Pokemon Stadium 1. And now we're going to be doing the Prime Cup Great Ball level. And this will be... Well, this is probably going to be one of the last actual videos where strategy is not something I'm going to be talking all that much about. However, I am going to be using some Pokemon that I really haven't used in Pokemon Stadium until this playthrough. Even though I've used Hitmonlee before, I think. I don't really remember too much with these Raws, but after I've used Hitmonlee, I've really started using Hitmonlee in these and some of these challenges. But holy shit, is Hitmonlee good? Hitmonlee in the rental Pokemon, it has the power of, or has the useful power, like Machamp, while also having good fighting moves that Machamp just doesn't have. Now, I have Arcanine, I have Hitmonlee, I have Vaporeon, Tauros, Dodrio, and soon-to-be Victreebel. This is not the general Pokemon I like picking in this game. Tauros, for one thing, is not a Pokemon I generally go for. Just because it's, it does have some variety in its move pool, but it's not useful in any of those actual moves unless it's regular, normal type moves. Which I believe it learns Takedown, it can learn Double Edge in this generation. Stuff like a Fire Blast, well, I believe maybe Thunder. But those types of moves, Bow Beam, Thunder, Fire Blast, are complete shit on it. However, giving it normal type moves, generally, in my opinion, something that doesn't actually take away on its health, but and something like a competitive sort of competitive atmosphere, like Pokemon Stadium, like the Battle Frontiers, like just playing against with a friend or something. You're not really going to be, you're just not going to need to conserve all of your health all the time. Your Pokemon are generally going to be going down quickly, just like everybody else. Takedown or Double Edge, pretty useful, but in the single player game, the recoil is actually, it will eventually add up. And then you have to start using items, then you have to start worrying about, do I go back to Pokemon Center? I've never liked Recoil. I've only really used those types of moves when I actually have Pokemon with Rock Head ability, which actually could make using an Onix in a Pokemon playthrough interesting. But Onix is complete shit when it comes to stats to begin with, and I don't think I'm going to do that. Now, Dodrio learns actually some pretty cool moves, and it's pretty much my favorite flying type Pokemon. Leaving out the legendaries is probably my favorite flying type Pokemon in this first generation, even though it really can't, it shouldn't be able to learn Fly. I have no idea how it learns Fly, and this is a really, really cool animation, and by cool I mean ridiculous animation while it's flying, just because it feels like it's trying, it's like jogging in place or something, you know, how people try to build themselves up, get themselves excited right before a big race. Yeah, Dodrio seems like it's getting itself excited to, you know, hit a Pokemon or something. But well, in that situation, it seems more like it's getting ready to eat a meal. But Dodrio actually learns a cool attack, Tri-Attack, which in this generation is pretty much just another normal type move. I believe it might be 80 power, it might be 70. No less than 70 though. It might be 75. But normal type move, so it's gonna be over 100 power with Dodrio. Pretty good attack power on Dodrio, and in later generations, I believe it started with the second one. Tri-Attack gains the a 10%. I believe it's 10% chance to burn the opponent, 10% chance to freeze the opponent, 10% chance to paralyze the opponent, which actually makes it kind of cool and very unpredictable how useful it might actually be. It might completely immobilize your opponent, might just paralyze them, take down their speed, might take down their attack power. It's pretty cool, actually. But, again, Tauros can actually learn some pretty cool attacks, actually. Skull Bash. Ooh, that's not great. Self-destruct, and I can't do a damn thing because I used Skull Bash. However, because I actually poison doesn't work like it works in later generations. Later generations, poison actually happens after an actual the round is over, the turn is over, or right before it goes on to the next turn. And in the couple of, I believe maybe in the third generation they changed it, but in the first two generations, poison happens after your Pokemon moves. So if you actually beat your opponent, it will immediately go straight to the end of the turn, and it will completely skip you ever getting poisoned. So if you actually beat your opponent quick enough, you're not really going to suffer any effects from being poisoned. Though in later generations, even though they nerfed poison outside of battle, in which now it stops, it can't even kill you outside. Faint, KO, can't say killed. But that's actually pretty... Why did they ever do that? Is it supposed to be like anti-frustration gimmick or something? I just don't like it. But yeah, I just did dig, and you're gonna come out with that. Yeah, the AI is not all that smart. Now, Arcanine is actually a pretty cool little Pokemon that I've only really started using recently in the later generations. Mainly because of the versions I generally played. Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Silver. Didn't actually have that. Arcanine, Growlithe were always version exclusives. The version exclusive in those were Vulpix and Ninetales and Fire. Well, it would be Fire Red, but in Red and Gold, you could actually Growlithe. And well, in my opinion, I would rather have Vulpix. It just seems, well, Ninetales just seems to be more elegant and has one of my favorite moves ever, Confuse Ray. But Arcanine actually has some pretty good attack power, pretty good special attack power. In the second generation, it can actually learn moves like Extreme Speed, which, for the most part, it is faster than most any other move, but moves such as Protect, Detect, and a couple of others, I can't list off everything, but Arcanine can learn, Growlithe can actually learn Flamethrower by itself. Not every single Fire-type Pokemon could actually learn on the first generation. The big ones being Ponyta, I believe Magmar might not have been able to do so. But then again, in the second generation, with Bite actually becoming Dark Fruit, actually pretty good Pokemon to use against Psychic types actually. because it has its speed, actually is pretty powerful, good attack power, and the fact that it can actually learn agility by itself, I believe. It's just a good overall good Pokemon to actually use against Psychic types, and well, Psychic types were overpowered in the first generation, and in the second, they were still pretty powerful, considering that Steel types and Dark types were hard to come by in the single-player game, and were out of the way. Now, I'm using Victory Bell at the moment, but this is the only time I've ever used Victory Bell in Pokemon Stadium. Or maybe I've used Victory Bell in an earlier part, but Victory Bell is not a Pokemon I use often. I use Bellsprout constantly in Pokemon Blue, but I generally get rid of it for some reason. I don't know why, but Victory Bell is actually pretty cool because in the first generation, critical hits were tied to speed. The speed stat, and which actually made Pokemon like Persian completely overpowered because of its high speed and the fact that it actually had Slash, which high critical hit ratio, plus good speed, plus stab boost, plus generally going first, meant, holy shit, death, unless you were a ghost type Pokemon. Oh, Hitmonlee, really? Yeah, not the smartest Pokemon to actually put out. Now, what do I do here? I believe I might try to put it to sleep once. No, I don't. Yeah, definitely don't want to try, and I don't like risky moves. A Pokemon like Butterfree, like Vivillon, which have compound eyes as their ability, something that Sleep Powder, Stun Spore, Poison Powder actually become, well, pretty much 100% accuracy, which actually keeps them being really useful. And being able to put your opponent's Pokemon to sleep, pretty much guaranteed, is incredibly useful, especially because, other than Spore, there isn't a move that can actually do that. And, I wonder what you can actually put on Butterfree to actually make it incredibly useful with that accuracy boost. But then again, Sleep Powder is already useful to begin with. I'm actually using a Butterfree in Gen 6 right now. But just looking at all my Pokemon, I'm actually strangely now it would be physical based, but generally I have around 4 Pokemon that would go with special type attacks, and just I stick away from physical moves for the most part. Well, maybe not, and maybe not in Gen 2. I love using Feraligatr, but this is weird because Hitmonlee and Tauros are completely, actually, and Endodrio are all completely physical. Well, maybe not. Yeah, actually, all of them are physical sweepers, except Tauros, because you really can't get its speed up. But can still all do a lot of damage. That generally gets to me. The more and more I play Pokemon games, the more and more I'm valuing speed. Especially when I actually play all these different challenge runs where just having low-leveled Pokemon speeds actually can be pretty much the difference between living and losing. I've being able to get off something like an early sleep powder to actually turn the tide, or something like a good stat, or that stat boosting move, or stat debuff, or something. Maybe just a status effect. Having that first turn before anything goes bad is really, really useful in an actual, well, a challenge run. I believe something like that battle with that goddamn Miltank and Gen 2. Holy shit, I've never had a problem with it. Well, as a child, I might have had a problem with it if I actually got lava, but any other time I really never had any trouble with it. If I actually went and just went with an actual challenge run, I swear I couldn't beat that Miltank with a level cap. I actually played I was trying to figure out how. I was trying to test out my little challenge run. It was a deviously difficult, but possible, definitely possible challenge run. And the Miltank destroyed many of my parties that I came up with. Until I actually beat it once, but the original one was actually a level 16, or no, it was level 15 was the original cap at that point. And let's just say that not being able to evolve a lot of the Pokemon that you could actually get, such as Bayleaf, getting Bayleaf was huge improvement over Chikorita, and you needed Bayleaf to actually survive against that stupid Miltank if you didn't have something like a Ghastly. It actually had, well, the moves like Reflect. It already had to be able to have Poison Powder, I believe, at that point, Reflect, and what was it called? Razor Leaf. So it's actually really strong if you had a couple of Super Potions by your side. But damn, that Miltank was utterly brutal. I swear, how can you take that thing out with low-level Pokemon without them getting completely steamrolled by its rollout move?
How will the type difference affect that?
Okay, Seadra, you're going to die. Oh wait, now I remember something. I don't know if it's past or not because I've been too busy talking. But there's one point where I actually use a Dodrio and I used a Dodrio, and I probably shouldn't have used a Dodrio fighting that Pokemon, and actually took out a Pokemon that's pretty much one of its main enemies. Smoke screen. Hopefully that Razor Leaf actually gets a hit in. The later generations, I don't see many different types of Pokemon actually use. I don't find many situations in which Pokemon actually use stuff like Smoke Screen, such as Mud Slap, such as Sand Attack that tries to take down your accuracy. Granted, I've never really thought of taking down your accuracy as being good in any generation, but in the earlier generations, that's one of the moves you had. You didn't have many moves to actually use, and you had to use it. The wild Pokemon actually did use it, and there's also that later generations just have given you all these really strong moves. So by like 28, you have pretty much some really cool moves that can pretty much one-shot your opponents. battles go by so fast that you really don't need to, it's faster to just take out your opponent than actually bothering taking down their accuracy. Yeah, Golduck. Didn't notice that that was actually on screen. Now, when is that Rhyhorn coming up? Well, I guess it's not this one. He has a Haunter. Why would he have a Haunter there? This would make more sense later down the line when Haunter actually has the Levitate ability. So it can actually do a Sky Battle, which I never liked the Sky Battles in the 6th generation. I'm just saying. Mainly because I only had one Pokemon that actually did, that actually could join a Sky Battle. So when I actually fought this one trainer, I remember she had a Emolga, and 2 other flying type Pokemon, and I had like a Pidgeotto that was like twice, no, not twice the level, but was like 9 levels on it. But it was still an Emolga. It was like maybe level 28 or 30 that she had, and I had like a level 37, level 38 Pidgeot. And holy shit, that was nearly a train wreck. It might have been a little bit lower level. I don't really remember the level, but I remember being a bit ahead of it, and still scared, just scared shitless because electric type Pokemon. I only have one Pokemon to actually use, and my attacks weren't all that great. Yeah, miss the target.
What's this?
At least the burn's gonna... No, the burn won't take it out. Only 15 damage! Well, that's useless. I swear status effects did a little bit more damage. Maybe not burn. Because burn already basically destroys your opponent's attack power, but that critical hit is just as general what critical hits do. I don't know, does critical hits completely just decide, no, I'm not going to actually listen to all your stat debuffs? Now, Haunter's probably not going to survive this. Its defense is shit. Its defense is shit. And Arcanine's attack power is pretty good. And plus, Dig is overpowered. It's basically just an earthquake you have to wait for.
There's a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon.
Yeah, no shit, announcer. Now, the announcer was pretty much kind of... Some people liked him, some people didn't. But I actually do like the... I actually like the announcer in this game and the second game. He's not annoying, in my opinion. And it's not that one from Revolution that uses those horrible puns and doesn't stop using those horrible puns, and I heard that was one of the reasons why the game sucked. Now, there was another big complaint about why Revolution sucked, though it should have been the 3rd Pokemon Stadium. I believe it was something to do with the fact that you couldn't actually choose from rental Pokemon. You had maybe something like a ticket or something, in which you had it was like that cup and well, Pokemon Stadium 2, in which you didn't actually decide what Pokemon you actually were using. You were just given different types of Pokemon. Basically, I heard that in Revolution it was like a set of Pokemon, in which you could choose between sets of Pokemon, not really the individual Pokemon themselves. So, unless you had an actual DS or something, or actually played online, I don't believe the game was all that accessible. Which was a really, really stupid thing to actually put into it. Not to mention, I heard they took out the mini-games. Mini-games is one of the best parts about this game. Some games make little extra goodies onto them. That takes some time out of the main game. Just takes some time out of it. Just the what was it called? The developers actually debugging time and stuff like that. Like, there's actually the multiplayer in Sonic 06 was stupid, not needed, and took time out of the debugging process, which was non-existent in Sonic 06. And well, let's just say that was a bad idea. That was a bad little side extra. However, Pokemon Stadium 1 and Stadium 2 were completely sound and were really fun to actually play. However, the addition of the minigame area in both of them were this nice little, very, very pleasant little extra little bit that you could actually, that you could play. To kind of, you might play in between tournaments that it would kind of refresh you. If you were a little bit too frustrated, you go and play a couple of mini games, feel all bright inside, and then you go back a little bit less frustrated. It was also, if you were getting a little bit bored and you wanted something different, you had your mini games to play, and then you would go back to playing tournaments. It just made it so that you weren't turning the game off all the time. It was actually pretty cool, especially in the second one, because there was actually 12 minigames instead of 9, and they were all generally of better quality than the first game's minigames, but they are pretty fun. And one of the defining features of Pokemon Stadium, and if they put a Pokemon Stadium 3, they make a Pokemon Stadium 3, I'm going to be pissed off if they don't have a set of minigames in the game itself. Oh wow, a Rhyhorn! Let's see, is this the time when my Dodrio goes head to head with a Rhyhorn and wins? Oh crap, that was stupid. Why is every single final person have a Dragonair? Lance has a Dragonair. That last person from the Poké Cup, Great Ball, had a Dragonair. This one has a Dragonair. At the very end of the Pika Cup, they have a Dragonair and stuff. Or what was it, the Pika Cup, or what was the... No, the other one was the Petite Cup. So, yeah. Why do they have Dragonairs? They're annoying, I hate them, and they just want to thunder wave me into submission. I wish I had a Haunter to take the thing out. Or, actually, a Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee is really good against Dragon-type Pokemon. Or at least Dragonairs, because the fighting types can do a lot of damage to Dragon types. Even though they don't actually... They're not super effective, but most of the actual moves I'm accustomed to using really don't work on Dragonair. They're either special and don't do as much damage, or they're fire, water, electric, grass, or a lot of these special type moves that I like using that do no damage because they do reduce damage. Now, this isn't going to be the time I use a Dodrio against a Rhyhorn. That was still funny. Now, if this was a second generation, that would have been a KO.
What's this?
New types. Why do you screw me in the older generations?
Which Pokemon is coming out? Oh, it's Tauros!
Really?
The Pokemon
I have a
are
Tauros.
entirely different types.
And Stomp's gonna take it out if it doesn't. Tauros, you suck.
No!
Really? Didn't actually. Oh, good, it flinched.
The
I
crowd
love
excitement is
flinching my
building over this
opponents.
hot battle.
I actually had a lot of fun with Pokemon Silver in my last run. Using the King's Rock. And actually just using, I put it on the Pokemon that used physical attacks the least. But I did definitely actually use Swift and flinched my opponents a couple of times.
The remaining
Yeah,
Pokemon
Kangaskhan.
stock is 2-1. The
Oh,
next
where
battle
did that
begins.
Rhyhorn go where my Dodrio took it out? That was still funny because the, well, it might have been early in this part, actually. I wasn't paying attention, but
Slowly damage
the,
opponent.
Dodrio took out the Rhyhorn. And it shouldn't have. I don't know why, but it should not have taken it out, but it did.
What do it do?
Oh, this music's just great. Most of the music's great in this game. I believe there's like 16 or 15 or 16 different music tracks, like 3 for pretty much every single cup.
Severe hit.
I believe 3 for the there's 3 for the, what was it called? Gym Leader Castle, and then there's 1 for Free Battle. So there's like 16 different battle themes you can actually have.
Oh, it's Vaporeon.
Oh yeah, this is just,
There's just one
this is King Me.
Pokemon aside now.
I won.
The battle is coming right down to the wire. Yeah, it's a hit.
Yeah, if it doesn't confuse me, I'm gonna be all good. Yep, I didn't need it.
Hydro Pump.
Hydro Pump hit, critical hit, and overkill. Considering that Kangaskhan has a shit special.
Congratulations! The champion has been decided.
Thank you. I needed that. I feel so much better knowing that I'm champion of this Great Ball Prime Cup trophy and stuff. Oh, that looks awesome. And with that, next time we do this, we're actually going to be doing the Gym Leader Castle. See ya, everybody.